You're hungry too? Sorry, I didn't get you nothing. Hello, fellow TIs. I got blessed, and look at this. I have butter. I have butter. I have yogurt. I have cheese. Motherfuckers, I have cheese. I have 2 fucking things of sour cream. 2 for $5. Ooh. And I got a big chorizo. Actually, I got 2. Oh, I'm a lesbian. This is the first time you'll ever see me do this. And I got meat. I have glorious meat. I love meat. It's so expensive. More meat. I got meatskis. I got meatskis. Oh. And my friend down the street, she turned me on to these. I never liked Twinkies. No offense to Rolling 20s in Long Beach. I lived around them. Wouldn't disrespect them. But, chocolate Twinkies. They are so freaking good. Try them. If you don't like Twinkies, you'll love these motherfucking ones. Yes, you will. And I have some napkins. Some napkins. To eat like a civilized person. Instead of wiping my hands on the fucking sheets that are covering the window. Turn off the lights and hide. You know what? There's mold in here. It leaks by the sink. They fix it. It leaks more. But only by the sink. I mean. So, you know, I do the dishes in this thing. That's why it's filled with plastic cups. And then I dump it in the toilet. The water, but still gets wet. But, so I hate plastic forks. But I got some sporks. I didn't get forks. I can't stand plastic forks, man. But I got sporks. I don't like them, but at least I don't have to, like, trip about fucking that shit leaking, because it's always leaking. It's leaking. It needs some Depends. Oh, man. I'm so freaking... I have 3 mains in my home team. And they're all such different people. But in a way, some things, there's so much alike. I mean, they love me, don't they? And they're like brothers. Like I said, you know, my gang, it became more like a family. Because to me, I lived in homeboys' parents' floors. Even when they were in jail, or even when they were living with their girlfriend, you know. And, yeah, they never asked me to pay rent, but I did. You know. Yeah, I just didn't want to be around my father. My father, was one of those. But, you know, my homeboy Nacho, my brother, my home team, he blessed me with, yeah. So, and you know, I should be fat, because no matter how much I eat, like an hour later, I'm hungry again now. You know, I mean, I haven't seen these side effects from the radiation, but, man, I can eat I'm hungrier than when I've ever been pregnant. I'm always hungry, and I eat. And I should be, like, really fat right now. The way that I eat and what I eat. You know, I know my body. I'm 51 years old. Come on. But this shit changes your DNA. And, you know, can give you leukemia and all kinds of different cancers. And other shit. You get me? But I'm so grateful. It's like, thank you, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God. I have food tonight. And I have food to eat. I'm gonna grub. Thank you, Lord God, for blessing me with good people. Even though they don't live around here. There's a couple. But, I met them here, They're not my people. I mean, my people can, it doesn't matter where they live. If they're out of state, out of the city, if they're out of the country, if I'm with them, it doesn't matter where I am. I feel at home. Because home is not just a city. It's the people that make the city. Yeah, it's the people that make the city. I mean, I love my hometown. But, I realized as I got old that it's not just the city that makes me feel at home. Yeah, I get homesick sometimes. I didn't even realize. Yeah, I get homesick for the people. Yeah, my brothers, my homeboys, my home team. And usually any homesick goes away, when I see them once in a while or something. Take me out to movies or take me out to eat. Or, one of them, called and, are you coming up here, for Christmas? No. I lost my laughter. I wanted to be alone. And there's sometimes when I want to be around people. And, it's been hard because since the accident, yeah, this is how I stand, look. Since the accident, I can't poker face shit. You get me? And I can't, play it off because everything is fucking just written in my face. Especially since, I've become an empath, And, you always feel for certain people, But didn't start developing until after the accident. But what was I saying? I forgot. You know what? But I'm so happy I'm going to eat. I eat. But I don't cook. Shit, food's expensive. Cheese and butter and sour cream. I love food. God blesses. Just like Satan uses people to fuck with you and to steer you wrong or to bait you or to gang stalk you and torture you. God uses people too. You get me? And sometimes he doesn't always use the people that you're sure are good. You get me? And since I can't poker face it, everything's written in my face. When I'm not happy, I'm old as hell. And, I'm like a hoopty on the inside. You get me? And scars and fucking old tattoos that have spread out and shit. And, fucking scars where I got shot, clamp scars where they forgot to take them off, fucking all these scars and shit, Hey, like a hoopty on the inside. But you know what? Something about me is when I stress or when I'm depressed or unhappy, really unhappy. And I think it's with a lot of women too. I look super fucking old. When I get too much sleep, and I always wake up, a lot of times a night. When I get too much sleep, I have nasty bags. I don't get good sleep. But, like I said, they diagnosed me with insomnia when I was in 2nd grade. And Bonnie used to make me walk to St. Joseph's, school where I went, with ice under my eyes. I don't know why, but now I do. And, throughout the years, it's been here and there. But people ask me, hey, when you lived at my mom's house, you got good sleep. What the hell? You didn't have problems. Hey, when you lived at my mom's house, you didn't have no problems. Yeah, so I think, from second grade and stuff, and I had no problem sleeping in Long Beach. I mean, prostitution all around, people slinging dope, fucking, all these different gangbangers would, coagulate to this motel that was across the street from me that had bungalows, to sling dope and then go, you know. All these crackheads running around. But you know what? I didn't invite them to my house, but I knew every one of them, and I felt really safe there. I felt really safe there. They tell me, hey, Brenna, you know what? I want you to come straight home from work after you get your kids and bring them straight inside and don't let them play tomorrow. All right. And then boom, you'd hear gunshots that night. You get me? Yeah. I was protected because I realized, even though I wasn't black, it was because I wasn't black. When I first moved in there, they kept a real eye on me. And I watched from inside my screen door, because you can't see from the outside, with binoculars, the taco place getting broke into 4 different times. And, hey, when I first moved in there, people thought, oh, no, she's not black. She's going to snitch on us. Even with the tattoos and stuff and the gang tattoos and me trying to be a mother and, putting my khakis down to raise these kids, put my dickies down to raise these kids and not letting anybody, my family, my first family, from my neighborhood, not letting them come around, and trying to be a mother. You get what I'm saying? But they realized, come on, I got an Impala for gosh sakes, and freaking, tattoos all over me and shit. What the fuck ever. But yeah, they came to love me. I worked at the bar next door. I call it the crackhead bar, because I can say this now because it doesn't exist. And the owner, John Moore, rest in peace, Papa John Elmore. And yeah, he used to sell dope in the back, and I sling Cisco and freaking Night Train and Irish Rose and fucking what was the one that was like the cheapest beer you can get? It was like 2 for $3 or something, fucking some shit. I just think some pretty ghetto shit. When I found out they're serving Cisco, I said, cool. I can drink when people buy me Cisco. That was my drink. It had been since it was like, do you remember when it was like 25% alcohol and people were like dropping dead? Yeah, people didn't know how to drink it. And since I was raised around the guys, never a sloppy drunk, didn't smoke Sherman, get like a zombie, because, I had to take care of them. And since I'm the only female, I didn't want to look sloppy. You get me? I wouldn't even wear a dress. One time I bought this dress and some high heels, cute, and I wanted to wear them. And I never did. Because I figured if I put on a dress, if one of the homeboys see me, they'd start looking at me differently. You get me? And I wouldn't be equal. I started not being equal after the accident. Kind of, yeah. But they'd either look at me and wouldn't see me as an equal no more, and see me as a girl, which I am a girl, but I'm a lot more female than I've ever been. You get me? I mean, I've never wanted to be a guy, which I probably got a bigger dick than all of them, but that's not the point. I was really equal to the guys, you get me? even talking about pussy, and talking shit about girls, everything. But now I'm like, you raise kids, you learn to smile, and you learn to laugh and be silly. I never smiled. I didn't smile. I didn't joke around. I was serious about every freaking thing. In fact, Gato, rest in peace, he just died last month. A lot older than me. But he was there when I got courted in the hood. And I baited him. I got pictures of him when I'm 12 years old. I baited him to take part in the winos for jumping me into the hood. And he said, no, I won't hit a girl. I said, fuck you, Gato, you're a fucking girl, pussy. But, what was my point? Fuck. You know what? That's one thing. Between mold and this shit, when you've had it a long time, with the radiation and the fucking magnetics and the fucking neighbors stalking your ass and fucking listening to everything, you know what? You lose so much. And, I already lost a lot too because, hey, that Suburban was not only on top of my boom, yeah, it was on top of my face and my head too. Benny from Spiro's restaurant begged people in the street to help him lift it off where it was crushing me. And, yeah, he saved my life because, they called an ambulance. The ambulance would have had to come look at it and call a professional to get that thing off of me. By that time, I would have died. And that was the first time that I've died and been brought back to this earth. I was on life support. And I got more lives than a cat, let me tell you. First time I wasn't mad when I realized that I was back on the earth. And I'm glad I wasn't angry. I wasn't angry because my son called from prison. And, I knew he only had a little time left. So that's why I wasn't angry, because I wanted to be here when he got out after 12 years. But I used to think that God kept bringing me back here because because I have karma that I'll never be equal for and paid up. There are certain things that you can't pay back in any way. You get what I'm saying? But I used to think that God was rejecting me. Fuck you, suck a dick downstairs. They're reacting to me. I used to think that I was brought here because, my son's in prison and he's going to need me. Or for the kids. That's not why I was brought back here. Because you know what? Suck a fat dick, you faggot. Excuse my language. Yeah, they react to everything I say. Oh, I'm going to scratch my pussy and think about you. You can't hear it. Yeah, God brought me back here all these times since I've been 13 because of this. Yeah. While my homeboys that have lived here different years and stuff with their girlfriends, while they told me, before I even came out to them, my home team, and they told me, yeah, I knew to San Pedro, I got gang stalked. When I heard that word come several times from each of them, and they told me what happened here, I was like, that's not nothing. That was at like way at the beginning. But they didn't stick around. They fucking fled. They fled. I'm the only female. The only female from the guy's side. I don't dress like this when I go with my homeboys and shit. I've tried to dress like this, and they, to one told me, go change now. That's not you. Because only since the accident, you know. But yeah, you know, God changed my heart. He changed everything, and I would have never even thought about changing, you know, that way. I mean, my son was, Mom, you don't cry. You know, even my son's mom, you know, my first love, the love of my life, you know, Tanya, you've never been a crybaby. You've always been tough, you know, but it's okay because she got used to it because tears are a way of cleansing your body and, you know, everything releasing. And I didn't see it that way before. But I figured this way. All these years, all I've been through, you know, I was getting stuffed and stuffed and stuffed. And I kept it inside. And then after the accident, everything that was stuffed inside, it just overflows through tears. You get me? So I accept it. Curse her blessing, curse her gift. And you know that sometimes taking on people's feelings or what they're not allowing themselves to feel, but they are, and you taking it on and carrying it and feeling that way, you know, sometimes you don't even know whose feeling you have. And yeah, sometimes it's really tiring because you take on the symptoms of sicknesses too, and you feel pain that doesn't go with you or this gang stalking. You get me? But hey, yeah, I'm the only girl, and I've stuck around. Well, I've been here 16 years as a resident, and yeah, this has been like 6 years. But I know like 3 of the homeboys that they won't say nothing about it, but they told me about being here. Oh, I used to live in San Pedro, but I got gang stalked. Back then, people didn't know what it was unless, you know, you were getting gang stalked and you had to find out what it was. It's not a word I ever heard. You get me? And yeah. And then one of my home team's sons put that they were in Pedro. And I'm like, you know what? Pedro's a very beautiful city. Nice place to visit. But if you're different, don't come here. Don't come here. I wouldn't even want my worst enemy to live in San Pedro. If you're different, no. If you have your own mind, if you have your own opinions, and you're different, you get me? Yeah. Because they're not down with that here. They will shut down your fucking civil rights, your rights as a disabled person, your rights as a human being. And if you don't believe me, go look up gang stalked in Pedro. Yeah. And she talks about the same things I do. She goes, they act like I don't have no rights here. You know, she says it, I say it nicely because, you know, I'm different now. Back then I would fucking just talk shit. But I feel different now, you get me? And she says, oh, the city's wonderful, it's beautiful, but the people are shit. I don't say it like that. I say, I look at it like this city is very fucking beautiful. You got raccoons. You got the beautiful bridge that glows with these blue lights at night. You got fucking, what do you call it? Peacocks at a certain couple blocks. Peacocks running wild. You know, I love them, but I wouldn't want to live there because they shit on my car. But I don't have a car. But, yeah, they got the coast. You know, Sunken City. Well, it's not the same no more. But that's one thing. You know, I was in love in San Pedro when I first got out. The last time I got out, you know, I was with my son's mom and I went in when my son was barely born, you know. And when I came out, I loved San Pedro. I was in love, you know, and I enjoyed being in love. And, you know, our son in San Pedro. And my place was Sunken City. We'd fucking get a milk carton filled with orange juice and tequila. And we take our son. And this park, it's called Averill now. But back then, the water was clear. And they'd have big old, I don't know, koi fishes. The big old ones that look like goldfishes, huge. And I roll my legs up, my pants, and I get in there and try to catch those fish. Good memories.